as the Republican nominee gears up for the general election. A pro-Trump super PAC, Rebuilding America Now, announced its first major advertising push on the nominee's behalf. With us now is the head of that group and former campaign manager for Chris Christie, Ken McKay, to my left, and also our old friend Alex Castellanos, an advisor to that same PAC, over here on Mark's right. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Tell us what you guys are doing.
Well, we're getting ready to run some ads here against Hillary Clinton to make sure she's not the next president of the United States. So we're hitting donors up and going around having our meetings, and Alex is doing the creative on it. We've got a couple ads in the can. We've got a 60 that started today, I think, which is a more positive, Trump piece. Trump in his own words sort of thing about his vision for America's future and what's important here. He's the only president, he's the only candidate for president, pardon me, that's going to put America first. And then next week, probably more traditionally, start hitting Hillary and reminding folks, keep her underwater, who she really is.
We're going to ask you guys in a minute, I think, about how it is to operate in this world of super PACs when you're not really formally blessed by the Trump campaign and how much that would matter. But I want to ask you, what's Hillary Clinton's biggest vulnerability? What's going to be the heart of your advertising?
Oh, I think if we can overcome her warmth and her honesty and get to the issues, maybe we can ding her there. No, I think she's got a credibility problem, an honesty problem. She is she's big on the 9 commandments. The 10th one is a little bit of an issue for Hillary Clinton. I was just in a focus group with Frank Luntz a couple of days ago, actually here in Cleveland, and when you ask for the one word that describes Hillary Clinton, a bunch of people said liar. That's a hard word to say in public, in front of other people about anyone. I haven't heard it that big anywhere else in my career.
Can she win if people still think that on Election Day?
I think right now it's a race, is a toss-up. I think either of these candidates could win, sure. But at the end of the group, I asked Frank if he'd go in and ask him, scary change or no change? And the group was split, which tells you where this election is. That's how close this is. But I think it's much easier for Donald Trump to comfort people that, yes, change is disruptive, but we got to do it, as opposed to Hillary Clinton becoming something she's not at all. She is more the same. She's continuity. If you thought Barack Obama 8 years was too much, imagine him on the Supreme Court. She said that's a great idea. So there's a lot of, if we make the case for continuity in a country with a 71% wrong track, right? 71% of Americans think this thing's heading in the wrong direction. She's more of that. We can win this race.
Last cycle, there was a blessed Romney super PAC and a blessed Obama super PAC. Mr. Trump basically said, I don't like super PACs. I don't want one. I can't keep track of all the super PACs who say they are the Trump super PAC. You'd like to be the Trump super PAC, right? You'd like all the donors to say you're the one. Make the case that you are the one that any donor who wants to give to a super PAC to help Donald Trump should give to you.
We are the super PAC.
He's not blessed you, so how do you convince people?
Well, I think the campaign has. I mean, I think, well, to the extent that it's permissible for them to kind of shower encouragement on our efforts, I think they have. We just had a meeting with a room full of donors. Mr. Manafort, it's been reported, Mr. Manafort called in and said that, he encouraged our efforts to the extent legally permissible. I don't remember his exact wording on it. I'm sure there was a lawyer sitting next to him when he said it, but I think it's us. And by the way, we're the one organized, spots in the can, ready to defeat Hillary Clinton. She's the worst thing to happen to this country. Her and her team started.
Worse than Pokemon Go?
Much worse, because Pokemon Go is not lying to you. She started 24 years ago with I didn't inhale, and here we are now, a quarter century later, and it's I didn't email. This is never going to change. It's lies, lies, lies.
Anybody who says there's something worse than Pokemon Go is a liar. I'll say it out loud on television.
I asked Paul Manafort when he called in today if he was calling any other super PACs. He said no.
So how do you
Governor Pence has said one of the best ways to help Donald Trump and defeat Hillary Clinton is to help Rebuilding America Now. And I think he's committed part of his schedule to attend events that Rebuilding America Now is going to have.
So you would say, based on those things, Manafort calling in support from Governor Pence, you would say that Donald Trump and his campaign no longer oppose being supported by a super PAC?
I think right now, when you're up against, Hillary Clinton's going to be spending $1 billion on this thing, and you have to fight fire with fire, and that's what we're going to do. And if this wasn't the official, if this wasn't the, I think, let's say, most serious super PAC, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I think we can make a difference here.
But you consider yourself to have the blessing of the campaign?
I'm glad Governor Pence is going to be coming to our events, and that Paul isn't calling any other super PACs today.
Why is that? Why is this a political problem for Donald Trump? He spent the entirety of the nomination fight saying that super PACs were bad. He wasn't in the pocket of anybody. He was going to self-fund. This was why all of his rivals were corrupt, because they were taking PAC money. And not that long ago, we had people from his campaign saying he will never bless a super PAC. He doesn't want super PACs involved. How is that not a political problem? Does it make him look like a hypocrite?
Well, he's not taking the money. We're corrupt.
He's still Alex. Why is he not a hypocrite? If he's blessed you now.
Because he can't stop us from doing it.
Well, that's not what you just said. That's not what you said.
We're going to do it.
That's not what you said. You said he blessed you. That's different from saying he can't stop you.
I didn't say bless us. I said, if I did, I
what did Paul Manafort say when he called?
You have to play by the rules you're given here, and I think if we let Hillary Clinton run unchecked in these swing states, dumping a ton of negatives on Donald Trump all throughout this would be a much tougher race. We've got to keep the spotlight on her, and this is what it takes.
We're not challenging your right to run these ads. We're asking the question of how you square Donald Trump's previous opposition to this with now what you say is a tacit or explicit endorsement of what you're doing. Isn't that not hypocrisy on its face?
He won the nomination, and now we're going to make America great again.
Okay. Well, that was nice, and that was the most evasive thing I've ever heard.
How much are you going to raise by November? What's your goal?
Oh, at least $120 million. That's what they've publicly booked right now. We can see $118 million. We got to get that plus more. And Paul Begala's run around. We've heard rumors. He said he's going to raise $250. If he raises $250, we got to raise $250.
Is Oregon a battleground state?
I think most folks would understand that the key battleground states are going to be Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Is Oregon a battleground state?
We're going to have to see. Right now, I wouldn't put it top tier.
Is Connecticut a battleground state?
Not yet.
All right. So when Paul Manafort talks about those being battleground states, you guys think he might be.
That's the campaign.
Well, that's the
No,
campaign.
I'm asking for your evaluation of the campaign's views.
For our efforts, I think as long as Donald Trump is close in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida, and maybe North Carolina, depending on the vice presidential pick, then jump ball. This is a race. And that's our mission.
All right. Alex Castellanos, Ken McKay, you guys are both fantastic, awesome, and wonderful.
Were we sufficiently evasive?
Oh, you guys were.
You should have seen the last segment.
It's hard for two men who are quite so evasive to be quite so delightful.
Well,
you guys pulled it off.
People want to know what's really going on. Go to rebuildingamericanow.com. See the spots there.
Okay, there you go. You got the plug in.